right afterward.
Okay. Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Hi. Yeah, you can talk to me. It's okay. All right. So I'm going to get started. So today's all about kind of new year, new you, right? So getting into the new year, talking about nutrition, goals, mentality, all that kind of stuff. And going forward. So I'm going to share. Share my screen. I don't have a button that says share my screen. Oh, there we go. Okay, let's click this. All right, can you see my presentation?
Yes.
All right, cool. So we're going to start just kind of talking about going into the new year. We're going to hit a lot of different things. So what our nutrition program looks like, going into the new year, how to set goals, some things that we like to focus on, talking about our clients, and then just some general tips that we have through HSN. So to kind of start, Patrick, you're in the show here. So just talking about some of our clients, obviously this is a very select few, but these were recently up on our social media as well. So talking about our clients, we like to focus on habit-based nutrition, right? So all of our clients, depending on whether they're here to lose weight, whether they want to gain weight, whether they want to lean out, just gain strength, whatever it is, balance out their sleep, their hormones. We really tailor it to you depending on what you want. And obviously we love working with our clients and making sure that they get out of this what they came for. So it's very tailored to you. So I'm sure you know Patrick is the star of the show. Sorry to the rest of you guys. I guess I don't have enough pictures. But I'm sure a lot of you guys have heard the term new year, new you, right? And I think that can sometimes have a negative connotation of people going to the new year and they're like, oh God, okay, this whole, like, I have to change basically everything about myself. And so you want to become this better version or like a new you, and that's not necessarily really needed, right? So just looking at a New Year's resolution and what it is, it really just revolves around trying to continue good practices, changing undesired traits, right? Maybe that's with your nutrition, maybe that's your sleep, maybe it could even be something like a characteristic, right? Like maybe you tend to be very grumpy or negative. That could be something you work on as well. And it's trying to accomplish a personal goal, right, to improve your life. So we don't have to necessarily look at new year, new you when it comes to everything, because people try to change everything at once. We don't want to do that. So kind of thinking about story time, right? So a lot of times you hear the client comes in and they're like, all right, my New Year's resolution is I'm going to lose 10 pounds and I'm going to run every day and I'm going to go to CrossFit 3 times a week and I'm going to drink a gallon of water every day, right? They list all these crazy things that they're going to do. And then you end up finding out that you ask them a few weeks later, hey, how's that all going? And they totally forgot what they told you they were going to do in the first place. Right. And if that sounds like you, if that's happened before, when it comes to your nutrition goals, whether it's sleep, all those kind of things, you're not alone. This is very common. How many of you guys have ever had a crazy New Year's resolution and then never followed it? Because I think almost all of us have. So you're not alone. So just kind of thinking about some research, right? So reports will indicate that about 60% of people will make some sort of New Year's resolution. Only about 8% of those people will actually achieve them. So that's a huge downfall, right? And that's not uncommon because, again, a lot of us make these crazy New Year's resolutions that aren't attainable. They're not specific and we have no one to hold us accountable. So that's why only 8% of those people will actually do them. And then it also shows that the people that achieved their goal 22% more often. So 22% of them more often achieve that goal when they were engaged in some kind of goal setting, right? They made specific tailored goals to them that they knew how to attain. And they're made of more small and measurable goals, right? So instead of saying, I'm going to lose 10 pounds this month, I'm going to say I'm going to lose a pound a week rather than just having an arbitrary goal of I want to lose weight. Well, how much, how fast, and then what are you going to do to get there is going to get you to your goal faster and also more likely rather than just something that's arbitrary or very easy to say, like losing weight. So when you think about it, okay, then when do we go wrong, right? What was the reason that all these people fell into a 92% category that didn't achieve their goals, right? Because most people are not achieving their goals. The reason being is when you think about it, again, it's not being attainable, not having anyone to hold you accountable, not making specific goals that are going to be tailored to you. So that's where both myself and Stacy as nutrition coaches, and even Bill as a fitness coach, and he has his own program on the side. We are here to help provide accountability, right? And then help you set yourself up for success because this is what we do. So we know how to tailor things to you to make sure it's specific enough that you complete them. So the first thing before we get into any kind of tip is that we have to set a direction, right? And that's probably the hardest part. If you've ever like had to write a paper or something, I was just in this boat because I am still in school. You stare at this blank sheet, right? And you're like, I don't even know where to start. You have to start typing at some point, but you have no direction. So what do most people do if you have a blank piece of paper and you're going to write this huge essay? What do most people create? Starts with an O. An outline. There you go, Patrick. Even though you're muted, I could tell. An outline, right? So some sort of direction to help you guide yourself through that. So having specific goals in mind. So trying to ask yourself kind of like an assessment of, okay, what does success look like to you? What are things you specifically want to accomplish? And is it really going to make you happy, right? Is losing the 10 pounds, is that really what's going to make the big world of a difference? Or is being able to play with your kids outside or walk the dog and not get out of breath or feel better after eating your meals, right? Like, are those things that are more important to you? So finding what's important, and then also finding some sort of personal goal, whether it includes losing weight or something like getting good grades, getting a good grade on that paper, or saving money, right? Creating a strategy. And then looking in the past and also saying, okay, what worked well in the past, right? Looking at your other papers, what kind of an outline helped you complete that paper well? So thinking about all of these things, what worked well, what didn't work well. Again, in a goal setting session, this is where we can help you kind of create that direction, right? Kind of create that outline to the goals you want to achieve. So, like I said, the first thing that when you meet with one of us as a nutrition coach, we ask you what your why is, and we really dig into this. So if any of you have, I know Matt's worked with me, right? So when we get into this question, it's not just, I want to lose weight. Okay, why do you want to lose weight? Why is that important? How much weight do you want to lose? What are you going to achieve? And how are you going to feel when you lose weight, right? We really dig in all of these, and it might be annoying. Matt may be like, why is she asking me all these questions? But the point is because there needs to be an actual emotional connection to it, right? Rather than, well, I want to lose weight and feel good in my bathing suit in the summer. Okay, great. But looking beyond that, again, maybe you can't walk up and down a flight of stairs without feeling out of breath. Maybe you can't pick up your kids from the floor without worrying you're going to pull a muscle or something, right? Maybe you feel like garbage every time you go out to eat. So you have to figure out what kind of emotional connection you have to that goal in order to then create a why, right? So this is all the stuff we have to do before even thinking about what your New Year's resolution is going to be. So getting into some tips. Number one, ditching that all or nothing mentality, right? This is probably the most common thing that I see, whether it's with my clients, whether it's people outside of the gym, family members. You want to do it all, right? When it comes to writing that paper, I want to sit there and I just want to do it all at once, but that's not possible. You have to put things together. You have to create your outline. You have to go back and edit. It's the same idea. You can't do it all at once. You can't drink a whole gallon of water and get 10,000 steps and work out 5 days a week and run a marathon and go to work and do this. Like, that's great if you could, but you're going to be burnt out after 3 days, right? You can't do that sustainably, right? Have any of us ever done that before? Because I have. Yeah, there you go. So we have to kind of ditch that all or nothing mindset. And so in order to kind of create healthy habits, that's what's going to then help you get past this all or nothing, right? Picking very specific things, very specific habits that are going to then help you to achieve it, rather than saying, I'm going to do all of it and then doing absolutely nothing. So again, some more research shows that when people try to change one behavior at a time, right? I'm going to drink a gallon of water a day. Let's say that's your one specific goal, rather than doing everything else. The likelihood that you're going to retain that habit for over a year is better than 80%, right? So that's a pretty high percentage of just for that one goal. When you then go down to 2 behaviors, you have less than a 35% chance of achieving that goal, right? So we've already made a huge drastic cut. And then when it comes to 3 behaviors that we try to change all at once, your success rate is now less than 5%. So when the new year comes around and you write all these things you want to accomplish, once it's over 3, you have less than a 5% chance of completing all of those things, right? So this is why it's more important to pick one really important thing first, master that habit, and then pick something else. A big thing that we focus on very like at the very beginning when we talk with new clients is picking low-hanging fruit, right? So thinking, if you're going, again, like this cute little dog, you're going out and you're going to pick fruit, you pick the one that's lowest, easiest to you, right? Like you don't try to climb the tree all the way to the top first, because that's going to be the hardest thing to do. So finding something that's easy to achieve consistently right now. So maybe you're pretty good with getting out of bed in the morning, right? But you like to sit on your phone. So you can get out of bed pretty fast, but you sit on your phone a little longer than you like. Maybe that's the easiest thing for you to do is, okay, I'm going to just get straight out of bed and get ready right away without looking at my phone. Maybe drinking water is easy for you. Whatever it is, picking the lowest hanging fruit is going to allow you to kind of start off consistent, and then you'll see, okay, hey, I'm actually doing these, I'm feeling better, I can accomplish this, right? And then once you start to see that you can make changes and you can complete things, then we like to pick a little bit more of the harder fruit to pick, right? And then eventually we go higher and higher up the tree, but you don't want to start all the way at the top, because that's going to be the hardest thing, and you probably won't complete that very easily either. Second tip is kind of starting with a clean slate. Right. So forget last year, forget the last few years, forget what you did last week. When the new year comes, we've all failed at something before. It's not a bad thing, but you want to wipe all of that negativity away, right? If you're like, well, last year I said I was going to lose 10 pounds and I didn't, or last year I was going to do this. If you start to think that way, right, that negative mindset immediately is going to take over, and you're not going to get it. You're not going to complete it. So trying to start with the clean slate of like, that's why the new year is so such a big time when people make these changes, is because it does feel kind of like you've made a shift, right? There's a new year coming. So some more research, 2/3 of people on diets are going to regain more weight than they lost. I think most of us has probably heard that before, right? The reason that is because when the new year comes, I don't know if you guys have heard of like Whole30 or paleo, like very aggressive diets, keto, right? Like all this crazy stuff. If you've ever done that kind of, 30-day diet kickstart type things, you're going to lose weight, right? You're going to see progress. After those 30 days, after Whole30 is up, you're going to go right back to what you were doing before, right? I mean, I'm sure most of us have done that. Okay, well, this week I'm going to be super strict and eat super clean and not go out to eat, not eat out. As soon as you're done with that 1 week or that 30 days, you're going to just go crazy on everything else, and you're probably going to gain more weight than you actually lost. So biggest thing is giving yourself some grace. Again, telling yourself those negative experiences are going to happen, but put them behind you. Whatever happened last year is last year. Whatever happened last week is last week. Again, trying to start with a fresh slate and put a little bit more positivity going forward that you're going to complete these tasks is just going to allow you to be more successful. And so a lot of times, so I know, I'm not sure if any of you guys have ever made like a vision board. Have you guys made one of those or heard of one of them? So this is one example of kind of creating a visual to keep your end goal in mind, right? So I know Stacy likes to make vision boards. We had a member once that did like a whole little setup and everyone made vision boards. This could be a vision board. Maybe it's having some sort of picture to look at. I know a lot of times Stacy and I will say, you know, find a pair of pants or a shirt or a dress that maybe you don't feel super confident in or doesn't fit you super well, but you really want to get back into. That could be your visual, right? So at the end of the, you know, time that you're working, you're like, okay, I'm going to try these pants back on, and all of a sudden they fit or you look really good in them. Maybe you haven't lost as much weight as you think. Maybe your body is just kind of recompositioning, but you feel so much better. So that could be your visual. Whatever it is, you want to relate that back to your goal and that why, right? So you're feeling more confident, you're happier around people, whatever it is. And then third is making a plan for success, right? So this is where a nutrition coach or a coach in general kind of comes into play. Because again, it's really easy to tell yourself, oh, tomorrow I'm going to do this. But if you have no one holding you accountable, no one telling you kind of how to go about it, or telling you what steps to take, you're probably, tomorrow's going to come and your friend's going to say, hey, do you want to go get some sushi? And then you're going to go get sushi. And then you're like, well, I'll start again tomorrow. And then tomorrow comes and, you know, you see that really good candy bar in the grocery store and you're like, well, I want that too. So it's constantly being pushed back. But if you have someone holding you accountable, making a plan step by step, you're more likely to succeed. So going back to goal setting, thinking about what is realistic and setting things up that are either successful or going to set you up for failure, right? So a couple things are keeping your goals visible, right? I've recommended this to people as well, like on my fridge, you know, sticking a sticky note to your fridge and reminding yourself of what the goals are that you have for the month or for the day or whatever it is. Again, maybe it's that pair of pants, maybe it's a vision board, something that's around you, whether it's on your phone, something that you see all the time. Second is sharing your goals, right? Having a coach, having friends around. I think the benefit of not only having a nutrition coach, especially at the gym, is not only you're going to have me, you're going to have Stacy, you're going to have Bill, and you're going to have all these other clients at the gym as well who are going to talk to each other and say, hey, you know, I tried this that I was recommended from Alex, or Bill told me this, or Stacy said this, and they're going to try it, right? It's, you have people around you that are holding you accountable to whether it's your pull-up goals, whether it's your nutrition goals, your sleep. That's why we're all here. And then tracking your progress. So we use an app, whatever it is that helps you to track your progress, whether it's weighing yourself, whether it's taking notes on how you feel, whether it's pictures, whether it's a pair of pants, having something to keep you not only accountable to, am I actually achieving these goals and what do I need to change, but also to help you see if you are making progress or not, and then make you feel better that day to day, we don't see many changes within ourselves, but when we're tracking our progress, we get to see those fluctuations and changes as time goes on. So if you're not sure where to start when it comes to being accountable, kind of tracking your journey, creating these specific goals, there's a secret. Nutrition coaching in general, right? So like I said, both Stacy and I work as habit-based nutrition coaches. So that is, we like to work off of habits, right? Like I said in this, in the previous few slides, that when you have one thing specifically, one behavior change, one habit you want to change, you're 80% more likely that you're going to succeed. When all of a sudden you have 2, then 3, then 4, you're going to be less than 5% of achieving those goals. So that's why we are habit-based. So we like to focus on specific habits, helping you create very specific and attainable goals and steps to get there, right? Okay, you're going to get a certain amount of water in the day. Okay, what is that amount you're going to get? How are you going to get it? When are you going to get it during the day? You know, what are you going to do to say that you've completed it, right? So just breaking down all of those steps in order to then achieve those goals. And then we're also there if you want to contact us or ask questions, I always tell all the people I work with that the more you utilize your coach, the better that you're going to have, the better results you're going to have, just because that's why we're here. That's the idea is I want to, answer questions or help you. So having some sort of coach that one has the knowledge and education you may not, that we can help you teach, but also the accountability and the constant one-on-one communication is very beneficial. Lastly, just kind of going over a few of the principles that HSN, which is Healthy Steps Nutrition, which is who we work with. Just a few kind of tips going into the new year. If you are looking to make a change, you're not really sure where to start. These are just some basics that you can already start doing. Doesn't even have to be the new year. You can start these any day. That will just also help in your fitness and nutrition goals. So first thing is adding more whole foods into your diet, right? So I think the biggest thing is trying to make your plate as colorful and as diverse as you can with whole foods first, and then kind of modifying or substituting things out here and there, but really focusing on getting whole foods first. We utilize something called the plate method. So trying to focus on whole foods and then kind of minimizing the processed foods as you can, kind of just stinking those in, but trying to focus on whole foods first. The plate method is a pretty surefire way of helping you stay within your caloric needs, depending on, because everybody's different, everybody needs different caloric needs, but this plate method, if you utilize this, will help you stay within your caloric needs and help you feel fueled and balanced in every meal. So we like to have half of a plate of non-starchy veggies, right? You're not going to overeat your vegetables. Learn to cook them in a way you like them, because vegetables are good for you. And then having a fourth of your plate with some kind of a protein, right? Whether this is fish, whether this is some kind of lean meat, right? Like lean ground turkey or chicken. And then having a fourth of a serving of starchy carbs, right? This could be sweet potatoes. This could be, what is that? A squash? I don't know what that is. Rice, like those kind of things. And then also having a little side of some kind of mindful, healthy fat, right? Whether this is some kind of olive oil or that you might cook some of this stuff in, or avocado to top it. And that's just going to help satiate you even more. Second thing you can already start doing is focusing on balance. So making sure, again, like that plate method, you're getting protein, carbs, and fat, because your body needs them all day, even in your snacks and whatever. No matter what people say, carbs are not bad for you, fats are not bad for you. You need everything what am I trying to say? I can't even think of the word.
Moderation.
Moderation. I was like going to say modification. That's not it. In moderation. So when we say balance, you want to make sure that you're having a carb, a protein, and a fat at each one of those, right? And if you're like, I have no idea what that is, like I said, that's why we're here to help. We can help educate you on all that. But again, protein being things like your lean meats, fish, those kind of things, tofu. And then your carbs, trying to focus on a balance of getting more non-starchy carb, right? Like a lot of vegetables, lots of fruits, things like that. And then a little bit higher carb, starchy carbs like rice and potatoes and beans and stuff. And then your fats on the side, which is just going to increase satiation. So things like, again, oil, nuts, things like peanut butter, avocado, those are all really great sources. And then lastly is just trying to limit the amount of added sugar and also just added processed foods. Again, trying to make your palate as colorful as you can. I don't mean colorful candy. Trying to get, lots of colorful foods, whole foods in there first, and then being able to kind of add in things to make it a little bit easier, right? Like if you have some bread here and there or whatever, that's not bad, but trying to use everything, kind of natural sources, right? Whole food sources first, and then substituting in. Same thing with limiting the amount of sugar that you get. There's sugar in everything, right? Looking at sometimes I tell some of my clients when they have no idea about sugar, I'm not going to tell you to cut it all out. That's not the point. You're not going to live that way. But starting to take a peek at some of the products that you buy, right? Like maybe you love Yoplait, yogurt. I used to eat that all the time as a kid. It was in my parents' house. My brother loves them. And I was like, oh, whatever. I picked it up. The whole thing is just sugar. Like there's no protein in it. It's just sugar. And I was like, what the? Because all of my life, right, you see Yoplait is this like health food company. So just taking a peek, not necessarily saying it's good or bad, but just taking a peek at some of the products you buy and just notice how many grams of sugar are in it. Because sometimes you may be surprised that products you didn't think would have a lot of sugar actually do. So some of those things you can substitute out, like instead of doing the Yoplait, maybe a Greek yogurt or something like that, right? So that's the last principle. So just kind of going into the end of things here, the deal is there's really never a perfect time, right? So I have people that are starting on nutrition now, right? It's the end of the year. Some people might be like, that makes no sense to get on nutrition now. Like I'm going to eat whatever I want for the end of the year. The new year doesn't mean you have to give up everything you've been doing until then. And that's what the biggest thing about nutrition coaching when it's habit-based, the benefit to that is, again, I'm not going to make you give up eating out or enjoying a slice of cake on someone's birthday or finding modifying certain things in your diet. The idea is that we want to make things simple. We want it to be, you can start whenever you want, and being able to find goals that are specific to you that you can start it at any point, right? Like it does not matter. You can start tomorrow. Or you can start in the new year. The new year just happens to be, again, a really great fresh start to kind of put the things in the past. But the idea is that there really is never a perfect time. And a lot of people push things further and further away. And so if you don't start now, you may never start. And so you might never achieve those goals. So kind of wrapping up here, again, when it comes to our clients, we and Healthy Steps Nutrition have helped so many people. A lot of our clients have worked, a lot of Stacy's clients have worked with her for a very long time. This isn't, some people want to do this for 3 months and then they start, in 3 months and they're like, hey, this is kind of working. There's other habits I want to work on. We have clients that are solely focusing on their sleep, or solely focusing on their stressful job and how to manage that and how to manage food prep and eating well while being stressed, right? So it doesn't always have to be, I want to lose weight, so I'm going to do these steps, right? Like we have a very wide variety when it comes to our clientele, right? Some people want to lose weight, some want to gain weight, some want to modify their body composition. And then some people just want to focus on everyday habits, right? Feeling better or more confident, sleeping better, whatever it is. So it doesn't have to be a very specific fitness goal either. So like I said, there are so many great things that come with nutrition coaching and then also fitness coaching, right? Like being in the gym, it's a perfect pairing because you're around people that are like-minded. And then also having the nutrition coaching to then help your fitness is a big deal because people will come into the gym and they'll work out for years and they won't see much of a change. And it's because of that missing piece when it comes to nutrition. So wrapping up, again, if you're ready to make a change, I think nutrition coaching is very helpful in having that accountability, but I hope this did give some tips as to if you don't know where to start, you're not quite sure, this is kind of what you can take into the new year, right? Some of those steps going back, some of the tips, and then some of the things like adding in more whole foods, minimizing sugar, those kind of things can also help you if you're really lost right now with your nutrition anyway, that I hope can help. So do I have any questions?
Does somebody have to be a member of the gym to be a nutrition client?
Nope. Nope. I think all of mine are in the gym, but Stacy, some of yours are not, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
It's weird. There's no pictures on my thing. Yeah, that's a great question, Patrick. No, you do not have to be a member, and I do have clients, and it could be virtual, or it could be a little bit of both if it's somebody in the area but they maybe do their initial consult in the gym, and then we do virtual. It's really tailored to the needs of everybody.
Yeah.
Each
You know,
individualized, I should say.
And Patrick, what I've been doing lately with meeting with some new people that are interested in the gym and maybe they can't afford both. I actually start suggesting nutrition first. Do the nutrition coaching for the first 3 months, get your habits in line, and we just start to layer in some of the fitness classes, a light class a week, and it just kind of ease in. And I think that fits a lot more people than you would think. So, of course,
So
just back up the answer. They do not have to be a member of the gym.
they don't even have to be in town. It could be wherever. We also have affiliates through other places. So like if somebody who's in North Carolina, let's say, I can find some place for them to go get measurements and a body scan, so we know a starting point. And that's always very helpful.
All right, anything else?
Anybody have any milestones coming up that they're excited about?
Yeah.
I got one, I'll share. Next week, it'll be 20 years that I quit smoking.
Oh, wow.
That's a big one.
20, yeah.
I'm coming behind you, but I'm not quite there.
Yeah, she kept smoking about 2 years?
Yeah, it was
I mean, we were dating. I mean, we were engaged. Well, we weren't engaged yet, but I mean, we
November
talked all the
13th,
time. And
2006.
she kept smoking and I didn't. And I didn't complain, and I didn't bitch at you once, did I?
You used to hold them.
I did. That was one of my secrets. But anyway, so that's for another show.
I
about
have
you?
reached my weight loss goal, I think, finally.
Yeah, Patrick, you've come a long way.
Yeah, I started this weight loss journey. I started thinking about it not long before I joined the gym. And I got up to like I was basically 200 pounds at one point, and I'm 155-ish now,
Yeah.
which is pretty wild. So, but I would say nutrition is by far the biggest part of all of that.
Did you find it hard? I know we worked together, but like, did you find it hard when we were working together? Like unattainable, too much at once? Like, what was your-
No, not really. It's pretty, I mean, plate method makes everything really easy.
Mhm.
Meal prepping, understanding how to meal prep was probably not really a challenge. It's the recipes. Like you need recipes to do it. Like what makes sense to make for a week. Uh, and what, so getting like a handful of recipes you do over and over again was the key for me. And
Mhm.
then I'm doing a little bit of clean eats too, that
Mhm.
meal prep place. The problem with that though is those calories are very low. Like they're between 375, hardly any of them make it to 500 calories, that maybe 520 at the max. So you kind of have to like supplement something. So I'll use like tortilla chips a lot because they have like fajita bowls and things like that.
Mhm.
But I'd say those are two things I'm struggling with. There's like calorie amounts, breakfast, and like snacks, healthy snacks. I've got a snack thing.
Yeah, he is.
I love to snack.
Yes, he does.
I'll bring you we have a sheet on how to build balanced snacks. We can go
Yeah.
over that.
Patrick, do you pre-order the clean eats or do you just go in and grab it out their fridge? Or
I
freezer?
just go to their fridge. Usually get like 10 of them actually.
And they're not that expensive.
No, actually, you kind of save money.
That's one of the things they're trying to keep under a particular price point, so that's why the meals aren't that huge. Because I'm usually a little hungry after I have one. But if you
Yeah.
order online, you'll save more money, I think, if you do that. The variety maybe isn't quite there, but you can order their double protein. That's what I did. It's only
Right.
either $1.50 or $2 more, and so they double up the protein, and so that might be an option for you.
Yeah, they've been great. I mean, it's really nice that you don't have to cook and clean sometimes.
Right. Awesome. Thanks for sharing all that. Alex, who's sponsoring this?
Oh, and Cryoactive is sponsoring this. So I'm not sure how that works because I know we're gonna draw a name. I don't know when you are gonna announce that, or do you announce it now?
Yeah,
Yeah, we do
no,
that. We usually do that tomorrow, or the next day after the recording.
yeah, we'll pick a name and announce it tomorrow with when we send out the recording.
Yeah.
Yes, when this is done, I'll grab the recording off the Zoom site. I'll put it up on YouTube. I'll send that out tomorrow with the winner's name. And it's Cryoactive Wellness in Westlake. And I mean, I'm sorry. Oh, geez, sorry, Rita. Right down the road in Rocky River. They're a quarter mile, half a mile down the road from us. Rita McCabe, her and her husband own that. She's been a member for a dozen years.
Yeah, and if you've never tried it, they have I think the most common is that people think of that standing chamber, which you stand for 2 to 3 minutes in, and it's like it gets very, very cold. I've never done that. But I know Christmas time is a really good time if you want to ever buy passes, because last year this time I bought, I think it was like 5 or 6, either like full body, or I do spot treatments. So for my shoulder, where they use, it's almost like if they're gonna do an ultrasound like that, they put the gel on the spot and then it gets hot and then gets very, very cold for like 4 or 5 minutes, and they just work that spot. And so the idea is that it increases blood flow. And I found that it has helped, especially like my shoulder and spots that it's just a little irritated. It's not hurt or injured. So it's not like a, ligament or tendon or something like that. It's more just, if it's overuse or soreness or something, I do find that it helps. So if you are thinking about that, I know at the gym I did bring, it's $35. You can take it and get like a first time session of anything of your choice. Yeah. Or you can get like the passes that I got last year, and it lasts for a year. So I think it's pretty fun. It's pretty helpful. And it's fast. It's like 10 minutes in and out, which I like because I don't want to sit in a massage or cryo, like needling or something for like an hour.
Yeah, they also, I do the spot treatments as well, and I believe that this gift card is for whoever wins. It is for a spot treatment, and I use them all the time as well. I love them. And they also have infrared sauna, which I have not used, but I need to get my butt in there. So check out Cryoactive.
They have lots of other things. So yeah, cool.
All right.
Thanks, Alex.
Yeah, thank you guys for coming. Again, you'll
Thank
get
you, it
the
was really good.
recording in the, what was it?
I said thank you, it was really good.
Oh, thank you.
Who are we
Yes.
gonna see at the gym in the morning? Patrick.
Maybe.
Me?
We'll see.
I
We're
have
about to have a band rehearsal here in a minute, so
We could leave the Zoom meeting go and we can all listen in while we do
We're a
our
little
ears.
rusty.
we haven't played together in years, so it's gonna be good.
Oh, so you're telling us you're getting the band back together.
We're getting the band back
Yeah,
together.
we are.
Oh, gotcha.
I want to hear you play. I'm
Yeah.
thinking we should have a talent show at the gym.
And
Yeah.
5 a.m. Nick is a musician too. Maybe you can pull him into one of your gigs.
Good luck. with
Yeah, we have talked.
He'd keep the crowd entertained for sure. He's a funny guy.
He is a funny guy, for sure.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, he
I'll be
plays
at
the
the gym.
guitar. He plays the guitar and sings.
Nice.
All right. Well, I'm checking out. Thanks, Alex.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you,
This
guys.
was great.
Yeah, it was great.
Thank you.
So have a good night,
Good
guys.
Good to see you on here,
Yeah.
Patrick and Patrick. You got another Patrick coming in.
All right.
All right. Good night, everybody.
Right.
See you later. How do I end the recording? Stop sharing.